We are going to discuss historical materialism, a concept given by Karl Marx. Before we get into it, we need to have a little brief introduction which we have to understand by going back in history. As we talk about historical materialism, there is some history involved in the same. To understand that, we'll go with Hegel's theory of ideal dialecticism. What he said is, idea is supreme in this world and matter is subservient to it. He also said that world is an extension of various ideas because as we move ahead in time, we get more advanced technologically and intellectually as well. Therefore, we keep on increasing the frequency of ideas, and with such ideas, the world also keeps on changing. An example can be your software updates. You are using an application on your phone today, and maybe the next week it has an update. And then the following week it has a new update. So, why is this thing happening? It is because ideas in themselves, they are not perfect at the first place. You see, the phones that we have today are not the same as 5 years ago. So what happened? If they were perfect, we would have been using the same phones. But as we advance, as there are changes and contradictions in ideas, new ideas come up. So that is what is this theory of ideal materialism, where new ideas are generated. He summarized this as thesis into antithesis is synthesis. So what is this thesis? That is the idea that comes up first to you is your thesis. Antithesis is the contradiction, something that you do not like, something that you want to improve. And synthesis is the result or the new idea. So this is theory of ideal dialecticism as given by Hegel. Now what Marx did was he converted this materialism theory into dialectical materialism and he changed it. How? He said that no, idea is not supreme, matter is supreme. And when he talks about matter, you can guess what matter is. Matter is economy. He says that economy is supreme and idea is subservient to it. So according to Marx, matter changes, and with that matter, with that economic condition, with that economy, the world also changes. A very day-to-day example that we can understand this with is, first you buy a bicycle because you have that kind of money. Then you work harder, you earn some more money, then you buy a bike, then you proceed to a car, then a better car, a better car. So what happens? It is not that your idea, you always had the idea of driving a luxurious car, but it only happened or you could only buy it when you had the matter economy or the money with you, only then. So that is why he said that matter is supreme and not idea. So he gave it the name of historical materialism, which is nothing but the economic interpretation. He said that matter or economy, it runs the world, and he had to understand this by going back in time. So he studied European history. When he started looking the text, classical text and literature, he found out that it was all written in the favor of the rich and wealthy. So he had to further increase his own understanding, and by reading more and more about history, he got to the conclusion that the first ever activity that was done by man was an economic activity. What kind of economic activity? The first kind of economic activity done by man was production, because when he came to earth he must have felt hungry, and to curb his hunger, to satisfy his hunger, he must have taken food from nature, he must have produced something. So therefore the first action was production. So Marx also said that in order to survive, man must produce, because if you are not producing, then you will not have anything to consume, and you need that for your survival. So therefore, there is some relationship with man to man in terms of production and to the produce that has been developed. Now, there are two kinds of things here. First is forces of production that help in the production process. It can be the skills that the labor has, the tools that they use, and the relations of production. So once the produce is there will be two kinds of people. One who will have ownership or authority over them, the haves, and others who will not have the ownership or authority, that is have nots. And this is when the stratification comes into place, because one is with the things and the other one is deprived of it or deprived of the same. Therefore, haves and have nots stratification is done. So he said that there were four stages of European history which he discussed about. How did it actually start? So he said that the first stage is primitive communism, where there was, the people were food gatherers. They did everything together. It was more of a group affair. Production was done in a group as well, but they only produced as much as they needed. Therefore, there was no surplus produced, because they did not even have the technology, the labor, or the ideas to produce more. They only produced for their own consumption because they did not have any other intention. So at that time the society was classless. The second stage is ancient mode of production, where it from food gathering to hunting stage. Now the stages of hunting. So what happened when they started hunting for food? There was surplus produce. Now when there is something in surplus, something is extra, a group of people will have that the authority or power over that extra produce, and the other group will not. So one will be deprived. So there is control and possession. Now when one has control, they will try to dominate the weaker people who do not have control. Therefore conflict rose in this kind of society. So this ancient mode of production was the first unequal society where master and slave relationship started. Third is the feudalism, where there was slavery to agriculture, because now the people who had control, they started using other men and women, their children, animals. They started to use them for production. Therefore there was a high demand for labor, and they were being controlled by the lords. So who were being controlled? The serfs. So there was a lords and serfs relationship. Next was when the factories emerged. So the capitalism or industrial stage arrived, when the production was done on a larger scale. So there was mass production which was done with the intention to earn profit. Now it was not limited to consumption. The intention was changed to profit making, and there was a complex division of labor. When the factories emerged, industrialization happened, even women started coming to work, and cash nexus kind of a relationship was there, where only an exchange of cash was there between the worker and the capitalist. And this is when exploitation started. So Marx talked about what should happen in the society, because he was totally against capitalism. As he said, it led to exploitation of the poor and the weaker. So he said that what the world needs is communism. So how can it come? So he said that first there will be a stage of socialism, and then there will be communism. So socialism is when the weaker section, they will unite and they will fight for their rights. He called this as dictatorship of proletariats, where the society will be a just society and the private properties would be abolished. And then after this revolution, the stage of communism will arise, where the workers will renounce their power, everybody will be enlightened, everybody would be free, and the exploitation would get over. Nobody would get exploited because there is enlightenment, and that is when he said history would end. So this is just the introduction of historical materialism. We'll understand more about it in the second part of the video. Now we'll discuss some questions before ending this lecture. Question number 1. In historical materialism, what stage of society does capitalism eventually evolve into? So capitalism was the fourth stage and it eventually evolves into a communist society which is classless and it is a just society where everybody is free. Second question, according to Marx, so there are four statements given here. If you look at the statement A, economy is the central force of history and social changes. So according to Marx, this statement is correct because he said that matter is supreme and matter, when we talk about Marx, he said that matter is economy. So answer will be A. I hope you got the lecture. Thank you for watching.